the whole Christianity, Judaism, or Islam?
I think that's a common sense. I don't need even these examples. I don't need these examples to.
But many people.
Prove. For me as a Muslim, I really care about my Muslims, my Muslim brothers and sisters. I make sure that they don't cross the lines. I really. That's my nature. I don't give myself the authority to point finger to other religions and you have this happen to you. For me, I think that's fine. That can be set in examples.
Yeah.
But I think that's not the point. The point, everybody agreed. There is no perfect human. You know, everybody has problems and mistakes. Yes, maybe some Muslims done something wrong, but look at the benefits that the Muslims have brought to the world as well. Look at the society that we're living in. There is a lot of things we enjoy today. Modern science is started by a lot of Muslim scientists. Muslim civilizations have contributed to it, and the Muslim world today are part of this basically globalization that we're living in, and we have to figure a way for Muslims and non-Muslims to coexist together in peace. And we all line up against those minorities, which is the extreme group. I think they are minority, but they are loud. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that the media try to do is try to make them big, try to basically make them bigger than what they really are, and try to label Muslim. There is 1 billion Muslims on the face of the earth. You cannot label Muslims. You cannot basically say all Muslims or most of them are like that. And those people are minorities, and they are isolated, but they are loud. And sometimes we give them the excuse. We give them the excuse to do what they're doing by basically not practicing what we believe. If I may say something here, one of the biggest problems I see in the so-called war against terrorism, that a lot of people who declare that, they are not sincere in this. Mm-hmm. They do it for political reasons.
Yeah.
Or for economic reasons, to make money out of it. They're not really sincere about it. And that's one of the biggest problems. For Muslims, especially the Muslim scholars, they are sincere about fighting terrorism and extremism. Because one of my goals, those people who are extremes, I want to save them from the hellfire as well. I want to reach my hand to them to save them. I'm not their enemy in a sense. I also one person who want to give them da'wah. I want to guide them. I want them to leave this path that they have taken and go back to the society and be part of the society. I think if we are sincere about it, I think we will succeed more than what we are doing right now.
So tell us the main message of Islam. Now we have we've clearly stated the facts that Islam condemns killing innocent women, children. It doesn't give authority to go hijack a plane, bomb a building. I mean, you have a right to defend yourself. Is this clear? If somebody trying to come in your house, come and force you out of, your home, you have a right like anybody to defend yourself, but there's a line that you don't cross.
There is a very important point also for a lot of non-Muslims to know. They ask me a lot about jihad and the concept of jihad and things like that. There is one important thing that non-Muslims need to understand, the nature of religion. Islam is a way of life. In a sense, Islam came to teach people how to establish a state. So it's not like a spiritual things you do it in the church on Sunday or certain times or certain prayer before you eat, or it's not like occasional things. It's not like just very general moral system that you follow. Islam has a lot of details related to the way you live your life, the way you live your life. So part of the teaching of Islam, to live as a community, as a state, the issue of declaring war. If you have a Muslim Islamic state, which we call the defense ministry today, or we have the Secretary of Defense, that position in Islam, there is rulings and there is teaching from Muhammad ﷺ and from Allah through the Quran to teach that Secretary of Defense how to behave in time of war, that leader of the Muslim state, how to declare war, how to deal with those who declare war against Muslim or they are potential enemy for Islam. He gave him the guidelines. These guidelines, this constitution that govern this department of the Muslim state, that's what you call it, the chapter of jihad in Islam. That's basically what it is. It is everything in that chapter is in the hand of the government, the hand of the rulers, the hand of the army, the generals who are ruling the Muslims basically country. It's not something left for individual to declare. It's not left to people to say whatever they want. No, it's not like that. And many people, they couldn't see that. They couldn't understand that. Why these rules exist. This ruling exists because that's how to govern the states. That's how the Muslims should use this teaching in their states as a leader. These are guidelines for them.
A couple more points. We're almost out of time. There's a lot of access to new information on the web. I'm just curious, have you, there's things like 9/11, because a lot of this stemmed from 9/11, which we said that, Islam is separate from this. There's, once again, making this a strong point that Islam has nothing to do with these kind of atrocities. Muslims died in these things, in this event also, didn't they? Have you heard of this program or things like 9/11 coincidences or any of these things? Have you watched it?
No.
No? Okay. Like a plane is missing.
In this photograph, an astonished onlooker sees exactly what we're seeing. The Pentagon had not yet collapsed. And again, there is no sign of any wreckage whatsoever. No tail, no fuselage, no wings, no wheels, no engines, no seats, no luggage. Nothing on the outside of the Pentagon. How does a 757 fit into a 16-foot hole and leave no damage or wreckage on the outside of the Pentagon?
There's no plane at the Pentagon. You haven't looked into any of these things,
Oh,
which point
okay.
totally away from a different direction. It's a lot of facts. It's just questions that are raised. There's a lot of celebrities coming out.
The only, I felt that the only real validation I needed was just being a tax-paying American that loves my country. I've done a lot of research, and it's not just me, it's the people that have come before me, the experts and the engineers and the physicists and the scientists and the scholars that raised a lot of these things, and I took a look at their research and said, yeah, it doesn't add up. A lot of it doesn't add up, hence these questions, and there's two areas. There's Building 7 and there's the 5 frames from the Pentagon. Don't listen to me. Do your own research, But I think that, what happened to a time in this country when we were entitled, when we had a constitutional and a God-given right to be curious about things that didn't make sense. Don't listen to me. Do your own research.
And there was like detonations.
Committed at least 2 blocks, and we started running floor by floor. It started popping out.
It was if they had detonated.
Yeah,
if they were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way down.
And
I mean, even if I'm a person who doesn't like conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
I don't
Just
believe
fact
in
questions.
that.
Yes, one man, caretaker William Rodriguez, rescued hundreds of people from the North Tower, and it's thought he was the last person to get out alive before it collapsed. Now, we're told that you rescued these people, you got out, and then you went back in, didn't you? Why was that?
Well, 3 times I went into the building because I wanted to help the people that were actually stuck at Windows of the World, which was the restaurant that was located on the 106th floor of the North Tower. While everybody was running out, I was running in back and forth trying to get to them and to help the rescue effort as it started. I had the only master key. I worked in the building for 20 years as a janitor, and I have the only master key that was used on 9/11.
Can I just ask you one question? Because we've seen there the picture, that harrowing picture, 2 planes crashed into the Twin Towers, and yet you still maintain there was a conspiracy.
I believe that I don't doubt that the planes were there. The plane hit the building, but before, and one of the experiences that I said even when I was pulled from the rubble on 9/11 is that there was an initial explosion on the sub-level number 2, B2. There were 6 sub-levels in the building prior the plane hitting the building, and I believe that was an explosion set up by explosive to actually weaken the foundation.
And nothing will ever change your mind that you think
I was there, I saved people, I actually have the people available for the 9/11 commission. That was the commission that was created to investigate this. They were never called, not even once. They're still available 5 years after, and the government came out with an official story that went against our experience on that day.
Questions.
I don't like to treat things like that. But I'll tell you.
Never heard of 911 coincidences?
Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is William Rodriguez. I'm the last survivor of the North Tower of the World Trade Center. And as you know, I have gone around the world talking about what really happened on 9/11 and how they have used 9/11 for the politics of fear. Remember that? Well, it has been worse because last year I announced that I became a Muslim.